We're going to be talking about content curation, all on this edition of the Pest Geek Podcast. Pull out your hose and grab your can. We're about to integrate another Pest Geek Podcast. Hi, everybody. Frank Hernandez here, and welcome to the Pest Geek Podcast, bringing you the latest information on pests, products, and politics from today's leading industry sources to help you start, manage, and grow your pest control business. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of the Pest Geek Podcast. I am your host, Frank Hernandez, here every week discussing all things pests. And we're going to be discussing the issue of content curation. And what is content curation? Well, content curation is different than content creation. Okay, Frank, you didn't tell me anything. Well, let me explain what content curation is. And the best way is I'm going to do an illustration from an actual scenario that just happened a couple days ago in between PCT Magazine and the Entomology Today and the Oxford Academic Journal of Medical Entomology. There was a study that was done. And published in the Oxford Academic Journal of Medicine. Very long study, very lengthy study on the botanical compound of anisyldehyde. Okay, this is going to be good. Ready? Anisyldehyde. That's the best I can do. Anisyldehyde. What it is, P-anisyldehyde is a component that is found in anise. And I got to be careful how I pronounce that. It's anise, the seed. And what it does is they were trying to see if what it did, and they found out that it repels the larvae of the Lone Star tick. Okay, and it also halts the reproduction by gravid adults. Okay, so now this study was published. And the Entomology Today, the author, Leslie Mertz, did an article on it. Okay. She did it. Natural compound deters Lone Star tick larvae. So she writes a really lengthy article, really good article, pointing out everything about the study. And she does this long article, probably about 800 or so words in the article. And then that gets picked up by PCT Magazine. PCT Magazine picks up her article and does what is known as a curation, does about 200 and something words describing her article. Okay. In this whole process, the only one that did the original content for it was the one who did the study. The Journal of Medicine has the original content on everything. Here, a person who works for Entomology Today wrote a very good article, reducing it to about 800 words. And PCT Magazine, which is a news source, creates what is known as the curation. Okay. And all they do is they created a small 200 and something word post describing the article and giving credit to Entomology Today and Leslie for writing the article. But it's basically not designed to be the original. It's not content creation where you take and you sit and you write an article, from scratch. You basically take the information and you create a what you can do in Word, where you take and just make a brief of it. Basically, it's a brief, and then it's available for their readers on their website for people that go there to read the news. And say, oh, this looks interesting. Let me read about it. Go to there. And then you say, okay, well, let me do some more reading. And then there's a link to the original article. That is content curation. And it's very, very easy to do. If you have a website that you have a news section on your website, you might want to create a news section of what's going on in the industry. And what you'll do is you create a news section and then you basically do the same thing. Now, there are a couple of rules to do this in content curation. One is you got to rewrite the title. You don't want to use the same title, the same headline that any of the original people used. Okay. you want to redo the image. You want to put your own image in there because you don't want to take their image. Okay. You're going to take the body of the text and you're going to rewrite a synopsis on it. You're going to rewrite a brief on it. You're going to rewrite a shorter version of it and rewrite it in your own words. You don't want to plagiarize it. All right. And then you might do a commentary on it. All right. At the end of that, you may do a call to action for something you're giving away or news or whatever, for what you're doing and an offer in there. But that's really the extent of content curation. That's what that is. And it's very useful if you have readers constantly coming back to your site, or you can cause readers to want to come back to your site because you have interesting stories that you put on there. We've had it before. We just did it the wrong way. And what happened is we used curation software that automatically did it and it failed. And we had to just remove it. I mean, it's just a nightmare. So you have to write it and have to have a human person do it. If not, it isn't done right and it's not cool. But that's pretty much it. That's what content curation is. I hope that helps you. I'm going to put the links so you can see it, visualize it on our site, and you can go ahead and then, go through the whole thing. And I actually did a small curation. I did about a 50-word for our readers that, are interested in 25B products. To go there and read that study, because I really think the studies are important to read and understand the science of what went on to figure out what percentage you're actually repelling on what insect and all that. So, hey, it's a great article. It's a great piece. Go ahead and check it out. And folks, I will see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Pest Geek Podcast. If you have enjoyed the Pest Geek Podcast, please give us a rating, write a review, or subscribe to the channel. You can join the Pest Geek Society by visiting pestgeekpodcast.com. Thank you for listening. See you next time.